Hello, everybody. Real quick, I want to introduce somebody very special. It's a certain special someone, Canada's sweetheart, M. Schultz.
Hello, Canada! Wow, has this been a long time coming?
I was like, oh, I'll try to be... Oh, no. I saw M, and I was like, I give up.
Listen, I had a bananas time in Canada today. Whoever... Oh, by the way, this is about me now.
Is anyone surprised?
Whoever's watched my Instagram is pretty much on track with what's happened today. But I just had quite a blast. For everyone who got dragged here by significant others and don't know what's happening.
No, they were like, please, let's go home now.
I've been wanting to come to Canada since I was 12 years old. I remember there's some weird video on YouTube that just like convinced me I need to move here. And I've been telling my mom every day since then, I will move to Canada one day. And I still believe it.
And M signed a lease. No.
And we went apartment shopping. No. But I have been wanting to come here for, I guess, now over 14 years. And so I was like, I'm going out with a fucking bang. I'm here for 24 hours, and I'm going to make the most of it. So I did all the clearly I did some stereotypical touristy things today.
Shocker.
Eva was my wing woman
yeah,
today.
I went far away. I was like, I'm really
Christy
busy.
was like, I don't even want to... The world would implode if we were in the same spot in Canada.
I have plans by myself.
So Eva was just the world's best enabler.
Like the wingman of the century.
And every time I wanted to go anywhere, she was like, fucking do you. And I was like, oh, okay.
And I'll hold the camera.
Right. So we had a Tim Hortons donut. Yeah. So I know that's not like the thing.
We literally landed and everyone was like, here's a Tim Hortons donut.
Right. And I was like, oh boy.
And they were like, it's not that great. And Em was like,
I was like, no, this is gold.
Hearts in their eyes. Yeah.
I clearly went shopping.
Yeah.
I went shopping at about 5 to 6 to 19 different places today and bought a whole lot.
I would like to add, though, that the flag came with us on the plane.
Yeah, the flag's from America.
That was a pre-planned accessory.
I bought this like 3 months ago, and I was like, Amazon. I know where that's going, on my back in Canada. And then I saw this. I saw the steam light today. The
steam clock. Even
yeah,
I know
okay.
that.
The steam clock. What else? All three of us had poutine.
We did do that. That was very good.
It's been a wild ride. I bought a lot of things that have to do with like moose and bear and
oh yeah, elk.
Anyway, thank you, Canada, for finally letting me into your beautiful country.
I will say it is very beautiful here. I also, to a much, much lesser extent, feel very welcome here, and I feel very at home here, I should say.
True.
And when we landed, this thing happens every time I land somewhere. I like immediately on the airplane experience that culture. Like when we landed in Dallas, the first thing I heard was "Bless your heart," and I was like, "Oh, we haven't even gotten off the plane yet."
For those of you who are not from the American deep South, bless your heart means "fuck you."
Well, yeah, and
most of the time
it means like, "Oh, honey," like.
Yeah, it's like, bless your heart.
But I got we landed in the plane today, and I almost didn't get off the plane. It was very tragic because the woman across the aisle from me was like, oh, no, you go first. And I was like, oh, no, after you. And she's like, no, after you. And I was like, oh, I finally met my match here in Canada. Well, my Ohio manners are finally being challenged.
On the plane today, I thought I was going to take a nap, and I was like, okay, I can't wait to get on this plane.
Oh,
it was like a half an hour flight, but it was like, I'm going to at least try to get some shut-eye. And as soon as I sat down, because we flew here from Seattle, in my mind, only people from Seattle were on the plane, not Canadians. And so I was sitting on the plane, and all of a sudden, the woman sitting next to me goes, "Oh, so how are you doing? Where are you coming from?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to Canada. I'm from LA." I was making small talk, thinking that it would stop. And then it just like, she just kept asking. She's like, "Oh, that's so nice.
No,
Who are you
guys
visiting?"
wouldn't shut the fuck up.
But you're so nice. And I remember I thought like halfway through, I was like, why is this woman like so nice? I don't understand. And then all of a sudden she was like, so where in Canada are you from? And I was like, oh, you think I'm Canadian? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, there's no way I'm sleeping now. So thank you for that. Anyway, I know you guys did not come here to hear all
that.
That
was a longer intro than usual, but we're very happy to be here. So thank you, Vancouver. We're super pumped.
Super stoked. Before we start, we're hoping you guys will take a journey with us down something called a drinking game.
Right, yes.
Okay. Cool. Glad to hear it.
Great.
So,
either way, you're just going to have to do it anyway, so.
Everyone wins at the end of the game.
Especially me, though. I win extra.
And basically, anytime Christine says anything, drink, because I made the rules.
All right.
So, drink if Christine says listen.
Well, it might not happen. We'll see.
Also, drink if Christine gasps.
Also, extremely rare and very unlikely.
Also, drink if Christine says sure.
That one does happen quite often, so.
Yes.
And, I got one. Drink if M says, fun fact.
Usually a never. By the way, that fun fact that I'll probably tell you is probably not going to be a fun fact.
No,
it's going to be a fact that you wish you never heard.
It's very unsettling and unhappy.
Yes, drink if we talk about the sweet babu, little baby Geo.
Boy.
And then also drink if we tell Eva what to do at all, which will probably
happen. We already
happen.
Sent her back to the hotel because we forgot something. So
yeah,
she's already this poor girl.
I feel like she knows Canada way too well already because we just have her going from left to right nonstop. So, also, drink if
we say hello.
Woo,
I was like 5 of you.
I thought about it, and everyone saw me hesitate, and I know, but I was like, should I?
I was like, I'll take the bullet.
Also,
you guys probably don't know what bullets are. We're from the United States. I'll explain it later. Don't worry.
That was
making a statement.
Reason a million why I'm glad to be here. Also, bonus round, drink if I go, honestly, it's just fucking funny.
I should have changed the subject. I really, really hate that.
It's because she hears it every day.
Yeah,
so,
it's not fun for me.
That being said, I guess at the end, if you still don't think we're funny, then you need to drink a lot more.
Yeah, that's kind of it's like our not so sneaky way of trying to be more entertaining to you.
Yeah.
So
get all, a good buzz with me and then just get like hammered with Christine.
Oh, you know what I forgot? Eva got me this really adorable little Canada flask, and I left it backstage. But It's very, very tiny and cute, and I was going to bring it, but I already have 2 beverages. So
you can have a third. It's okay. That's the point of the drinking game.
I was going to put maple syrup in it, and then I was like, that's a little much, I think.
Oh, there was one store today, by the way, that like I know that they were like pumping the smell of maple syrup through through the vents, because I walked in there and I was like, I don't even see maple syrup, but I know exactly where I am. So I appreciate your like mental marketing. You guys are doing a great job, because I bought a lot of shit there, so it worked. That being said, let's crack into it.
Let's do it.
We interrupt this podcast for me to tell you some breaking news. Not so breaking. I'm very sleepy all the time. And if you've been listening since day one or probably today, you know there's nothing I love more than a nap. And partly because my mattress is a Helix mattress. I've been everywhere but my own home for the last 3 weeks. I've been in North Carolina. I've been in Colorado. I've been in Texas and Florida. I've been in rental houses. I've been in hotels. I've been on every mattress except my own these days. And that was a silly little euphemism I'm going to keep in. Sorry about it. But it's true. I've been sleeping on like 10 mattresses. None of them were my own. None of them were Helix mattresses. And I have been having the worst back pains. I've had night sweats. I just haven't been comfortable at all. I've not been getting a restful sleep. And last night was my first night back home in my own bed. Wow. Slept like a baby. It was like sleeping on a cloud. It was just an obvious difference. I mean, my back doesn't hurt. I just woke up feeling refreshed. And I have Helix to thank you for that. So if you would like to be like me and have some life-changing sleep, go to helixsleep.com/drink for 27% off site-wide, exclusive for listeners of And That's Why We Drink. That's helixsleep.com/drink for 27% off site-wide, exclusive for listeners of And That's Why We Drink. helixsleep.com/drink.
Hear ye, extra, extra, read all about it. Just kidding, don't read, listen all about it, because Audible delivers thrills of every kind on your command. From electrifying suspense and daring quests to spine-tingling horror and romance in far-off realms, unleash your adventurous side with gripping tales that keep you guessing, exclusive captivating Audible originals, and hotly anticipated new releases. If you need to be in a car for a long time, or if you need to be on a plane for a long time, or a train or a boat, or if you just want to sit on your couch for a long time, you can enjoy Audible. That's what I do. I love me an audiobook. I've said this before. I literally have written 2 books, which you can find on Audible, but I really can't stand dry text. There's nothing I love more than just getting to sit, listen, vibe. It's a great time. And there's more like big releases like Frida McFadden's The Tenant and Amelia Hart's The Sirens. You can also listen to some of their bestsellers that hook you from the first minute, whether that's heart-pounding suspense like the Audible original Mad Love, fantasy romance adventure like Onyx Storm, or listen with the lights on epic like Stephen King's latest Never Flinch. Start listening and discover what's beyond the edge of your seat. New members can try Audible now for 30 days and dive into a world of new thrills. Visit audible.com/drink or text drink to 500-500. That's audible.com/drink or text drink to 500-500.
Sure.
All right, don't steal my thing.
So, I appreciate everyone writing in and sending in all of their Canadian stories. I asked for recommendations at one point, and people really threw down and offered a whole lot of stuff. So I appreciate that. The one that I picked, I thought was pretty good. It's kind of quick, and so because I don't want to leave any part of Canada ever hanging, I also I have a short little fun extra ghost story for you guys at the end.
I'm ready.
Yay! Okay.
I'm so excited for my story.
Well, you got to get through mine first.
I just remembered what mine was. I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. This is the story of, and please, whether or not you know it, I have anxiety, so clap anyway.
Yes. Also me, I'm jumping on that train. Thank you.
This is the story of Deadman's Island. Deadman's Island? I heard some authentic woos and some pity woos, but I like both of them, so thank you.
I don't know what this is. It sounds very scary.
Deadman's Island.
Okay.
So it is south of Stanley Park. Okay, cool. And
you can't look up every time you say
I'm
another.
Like, yeah, no.
Stanley Park?
We have done a few shows where we, the whole story was based in a town that apparently everyone hated. And it was like, oh, no.
I had to switch gears real fast. I was like, you know that shitty town that I just mentioned? Because everyone booed when I talked about it? Oh, my God.
Well, everyone seems to like the south of Stanley Park, at least.
Great. So, let's go with that.
So this is near Cole Harbor. Does that make sense to other people?
They might just be doing that because you told them to.
Probably. But also, it's the Canadians. They're so nice.
I know.
So
we don't have anything to worry about.
So the island is today a Canadian naval base. Fun fact. And so...
God damn it.
Again, I told you they're not really fun.
I just started.
So it started as... It never started as Deadman's Island. It was originally literally called Island. That's a fun fact. And so...
That is a fun fact.
And so there were a few native tribes who lived on the island in the beginning, and the northern tribes and the southern tribes at one point were at war with each other. And the southern tribe had kidnapped 200 of the northern tribe's women, children, and elderly family members. And the southern tribe did the kidnapping, and they said, we are going to hold them hostage until the North decides to send over 200 of their best warriors to switch them out, and then we'll let everyone go.
Oh, boy.
So the Northern tribe decided, okay, we're going to do that. So they had 200 of their best warriors go and replace the spots of the women and children. The Northern tribe...
Are we not saying their name on purpose? Is it like
no, they don't. I didn't find a name.
Okay.
It was just Northern Tribe.
Because yesterday you said you were like, I'm not going to try to say the name out loud.
Oh yeah, because also if I knew the name, I would probably really not pronounce it right.
Okay,
but
just checking.
Everywhere online was saying North and South. So.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So the Southern tribe released the children and women as they said they would, but then immediately killed all of the Northern tribe warriors.
Okay.
They apparently had a whole plan to just shoot them all down with arrows as soon as they got there.
Great.
Who's laughing?
Someone's entertained by that. What the fuck, Canada?
So the legend is that after all the the Northern Tribe warriors died that day. The next day, all of the flowers on that entire part of the island set on fire by themselves.
Oh, no.
So all the stems were normal flowers, but the petals were little flames.
Oh, okay.
And so then the Southern Tribe was like, well, fuck that. And so they decided that they were going to leave the land and never come back. They called it Cursed, and then they called it Deadman's Island.
Oh, my.
And so, since nobody wanted to live there, I don't know if this is the same tribe, to kind of answer your question. I don't know if this is the same tribe or a new tribe that's moving in, but they're called the Squamish tribe. Okay. And they started using...
Good job.
Thank you.
I waited. I didn't want to say anything until I heard approval.
Thank you. It's fine. So,
Stop it.
The Squamish tribe decided that they were going to use that part of the island since it was no longer being used. They were going to use it as a cemetery. It now is a cemetery, but they were putting bodies in wooden coffins, and because they were afraid of the fact that apparently the ground can just catch on fire, they didn't want to bury the coffins, and so they started shoving them in between branches of trees. So the above-ground coffins, as they were later relocated by the settlers once they decided they were going to use the land, and they turned it into a burial ground for them. So they were actually now burying the bodies, but keep in mind they were definitely also disturbing like a native burial ground.
Right.
So in the 1870s, they turned it into a burial ground, but it was more of a dumping ground for any and all corpses that were not wanted.
Oh, okay.
So nobody
great.
was trying to bury them well. They were just trying to
put
them under the ground.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So bodies that were buried here were merchant seamen, construction workers of the Canadian Pacific Railway, the 21 victims of the Great Fire of 1886, vagrants, outlaws, poor laborers, sex workers, lepers, and societal outcasts.
Oh, gosh.
So pretty much, like I said, anybody that either couldn't afford a nice burial or no one cared enough to give a nice burial.
Right.
So eventually the bodies started piling up because there were so many of them that there was nowhere left to bury them. And so a year later, a proper cemetery was actually opened right next door called Mountain View Cemetery. But they were dumped into even more shallow graves. And also they weren't trying to do it like in a plot at all. They were just putting bodies wherever they could under the ground. So they were just scattered everywhere. And they also weren't clearly getting proper funerals.
Right.
So this is like 3 types of cemeteries all in a row that are not being like are doing their job. So in 1890, or right around the island, there now smallpox is showing up in different areas. And so people have decided that Deadman's Island will actually be the quarantine site of people who contract smallpox.
Oh my God, what?
But so they were thinking like, oh, you can just go here and then just just be done with smallpox. But apparently in 1890 people just die from smallpox instead of get better.
Well, especially if you put them on an island, leave them
Right. And so basically that was their plan all along. They were calling it a quarantine site, but at the same time they pretty much planned that we're just going to put you on the island we planned on burying you in anyway.
Great.
Okay. Then they started considering them, quote, the Walking Dead.
Oh dear.
Because once they already had smallpox, it was pretty much a death sentence.
Right.
So they were like, we'll just put you there since we plan on putting you there anyway. Yeah. Yes.
In case
Canadians.
In case anyone's wondering.
Yeah. Also, I think that today is the record of me saying Canadian in one day alone. I've probably said it 1,000 times, and every single time has been in like the best way possible. And anytime I've said American, it's been like in the worst way possible.
And like the most shameful.
In the most shameful way. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm being such an American right now. Well, like this is probably a very American thing to do too. So
yeah, the guy in the car was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I was like, "America." I'm like, he knows that. He's like,
Canadian
we're from
did
the United
this.
States, and he's like, that much I figured out real quick.
Right.
It took me 4 seconds.
And I felt shame too when I said America. I was like, can't we just all start saying Canada until it's real?
Yikes.
So, smallpox.
Right.
So
let's go back to that.
since a lot of people they started just putting them on the island knowing that they would die and didn't try to take any documentation of them, so there's a lot of unmarked graves there because they were just burying bodies left and right trying to get them underground. Right. So since it's unmarked, chances are that when they ever decided to make it a naval base, they didn't actually ever exhume all of the bodies.
Oh. Well, yeah, I guess there are a lot of people there now.
Yeah. So in 1899, there was a guy named Theodore, and he leased the island from the federal government. And he said, well, nobody's doing anything with this island, so I'm going to build a lumber mill.
Okay.
And the officials and locals of towns nearby did not want him to because they thought that the island was originally part of the Stanley Park land grant that said that you can't touch that land.
Okay.
But he kept trying to find loopholes. Basically, he pissed off the police left and right because he kept saying, like, oh, well, I'm going to do it. Here's a loophole. And they're like, well, we don't want you to. And he'd be like, oh, well, here's another loophole. So he just kept finding ways to use the land for himself. So they didn't know if he was legally allowed to be doing whatever he wanted with the land, so they kept fighting him on it. And authorities told him that the island wasn't a good idea for him to use. It wasn't a good idea for him to use it the way that he wanted to, but he didn't care. So he kept trying to start construction projects on the island. But apparently all of the law enforcement in the area were so against him doing it that they started doing like camp out nights there. From like 1909 to like 1930, like for like 20 years, they would put different police like on shifts to spend the night there to avoid him from trying to start a construction project to get his company built up.
Okay, so that's one way to do it, I guess.
I don't know why they were so like hard pressed on it, but it works because their plan was to camp out until 1930 when his lease would expire, and they actually did it. So
holy shit.
In 1909, though, so that was at the beginning of when they were trying to do these little sleepovers, apparently. And so...
little sleepovers.
Little police sleepovers. So during one of these nights, when it was right when the police started camping out there to keep him from construction, this was when they started feeling the peak of paranormal activity start showing up because they were on an island all by themselves.
Right.
And they have reported feeling... They reported hearing disembodied voices screaming at them in the middle of the night.
Good.
They could hear chains rattling out of their tent. They saw apparitions of skeletons that would scream in their faces. And while the skeletons were screaming, they could also hear bones cracking.
What the hell?
So anyway, you know that.
Moving on.
So through 1930, the police were often there trying to keep him from opening up his company, but not knowing what to do with the land after that happened and after his lease expired. Officials wanted to make sure that they were in control of what happened to the land, so a lot of citizens in the area said that they wanted to turn it into a museum, a war memorial, or an amusement park, or a dance hall. So it got down to those four things. So a lot of variety. They ended up deciding that they were going to make it a park. But in 1942,
I wish it was the dance hall. I was gunning for that.
Way fun.
Yeah,
taking a ferry to the dance hall. So
yeah, love it.
But in 1942, their plans to make it a park got scrapped because during World War II they needed to look at more places for military bases.
Okay.
And so that was when they decided that they were going to make the land the Canadian Royal Navy and Reserve Training Facility.
Got it.
It's called HMCS Discovery. Sure. Okay.
That person really likes it.
Sure. Okay. What up? So the Navy decided that they were going to use the island as a naval base, and that's where the reserves go to train. So
got it.
It was named HMCS Discovery after one of the ships used by Captain George Vancouver.
Oh, our favorite guy.
Yes, and you can only imagine what Captain George Vancouver's name is also attached to.
I don't know.
Maybe Vancouver. So that was my brain exploding. So while the island was now turned into a base, that was when people started regularly reporting supernatural stuff going on. So originally they were like, okay, so the cops said that they heard some weird things.
There's like some skeletons screaming.
There's some skeletons screaming at you to wake you up.
But don't worry, their bones only crack sometimes.
They thought at that point it might just be like a legend or a rumor going around town, but now everyone's starting to confirm it that actually is going to the base, and they're like, oh, some shit is going on here. So, there were reports of hearing glass breaking, furniture moving on its own, voices whispering, and then shouting, screaming in your face again, gurgling, chanting, footsteps. People also experienced being touched and shoved when nobody was there. Some people said that they were tripped by someone, even though no one was there. They could see shadow people. They would see glowing eyes in the fog. They would see unexplained lights rushing towards them at night. And there was pacing footsteps running at them. People reported something hissing their name when they're alone.
Cool.
They've heard laughter, loud bangs on the table that you're sitting at. Chains getting...
Oh, I thought you meant the table I'm sitting at.
This exact table. We brought it for
and
you.
And it's here tonight. I was about to shove
if you're
myself away.
No, if you're like on your laptop or something, like something will like smack the table while next to you.
Okay, sure.
People will also hear chains getting thrown on the floor next to them. They will hear a woman sobbing. They'll hear a man shouting, "Hey there."
That's kind of nice.
And a lot of people have reported seeing a glowing, flickering flame out amongst the trees. And apparently, if you look at it long enough, the flame itself will morph into a human figure shadow, and start walking out of the trees towards you.
Okay. I love that.
La la la. Also, objects will move on their own, and people working there, their items will go missing and then show up in random places that there's no way they would have put them there.
We know that.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yes.
That's creepy.
If you've listened to us bitch and moan about our personal ghost stories, that's a pretty frequent one that happens.
It's usually my retainer. I mean, 99% of the time I lost it, but like once or twice, that was not me.
I mean, I have personal stories of things like ending up in the middle of my driveway and like
it's very weird.
Inside like the shower drain and stuff.
It's always like in the middle of something, which is very spooky.
Like it wants you to know. Ooh. So, also, lights and electronics will go off and on by themselves. Usually they will do the thing you don't want them to do.
Of course.
And the most activity happens on the base in a building called Building Number 1.
Clever.
And then
it's much like Island.
Right.
Very original.
The other most active area is a storage room that is used as a holding cell, or was used as a holding cell back when the tribes were living there. Okay. So legend has it that in that holding cell, one of the people that died that day with the fire flowers,
right? I remember those.
Apparently, there were a few people in the holding cell who actually died by suicide that day.
Shit.
So that's why they think that the storage room might have more activity than other parts. So there's a few stories that are, I guess, the most well-known about this island that is now the naval base. So all four of these are from the naval base.
Okay.
One of them is from I'm gonna say seaman a lot, guys, just so you know.
This is a weird day.
A leading seaman named
Okay, I forget it.
Named Anne-Marie Hamilton, which I'm very excited that it's a woman because this was in like the 80s or 90s. So makes me happy.
Who is she?
Her name is Anne-Marie Hamilton, and she's one of the leading seamen to.
Oh.
Heyo. So
sea woman. Yeah.
So
you realize she's a sea woman, right?
Yes.
Seaman.
It says. So
I'm just gonna pretend that was for me, not Anne Marie. Thanks.
So no one usually sleeps on the islands, or no one sleeps on the naval base. Usually, you just do your work, and then everyone leaves at a certain time. And then there's a guy who he's like by the front gate and make sure nobody comes in all night.
That poor guy.
That poor guy, because he's involved in all of these stories.
Oh no.
So Anne-Marie, she actually asked for special permission to stay overnight one weekend to get some of her extra work done, and she decided that she was going to sleep in Building Number 1.
Uh-oh.
Big mistake. So the first night she's there, she wakes up at 3 a.m., of course, to the sound of two men walking outside of her room and going up the stairwell.
Nope.
She said that she heard them clearly and calmly, as though they weren't trying to be sneaky. They just were having their own conversation. And they were slowly walking up to the third floor, which was the floor above her. she heard them start moving furniture and still talking to each other while also opening and closing the doors for an hour. So
why?
So she didn't know what was going on, but she assumed that they were probably there to do some manual labor or something, and they were also getting to stay the night or had the permission to do so. So the next morning, she asked the watchman at the front gate who else stayed in building number 1 with her, and he said that she was the only person on the whole island, and nobody had come through the gates.
Oh, no.
So then she decides to stay for the second night.
No, what in the world?
And so basically, for the next night, she's there at 3 a.m. She woke up to furniture being moved on the floor above her. And she was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go find out what this is. And I was like, woo, girl.
No.
So she went up to see what the sound was or who was there. But she got to the hall right in front of the room, like up to the doorway. And apparently she felt this like tremendous dread saying, don't go in the room.
No.
And so she went downstairs and then she went to sleep.
So this is not how we would behave in any of the above scenarios. No.
If I heard furniture moving and I knew someone might even be up there that's alive, I'd be like, I don't know about this.
Listen, we would not even stay one night on this goddamn. We'd be like, there's 8,000 ghosts.
I'd be like, and there's 8,000 hotel rooms that are not here, so let's go to those. So,
and I will not be doing any manual labor or whatever she was there to do.
Right.
Thank you.
So in 1991, there was another leading seaman. His name was C. Gran.
Sure.
And he was, there it is. He was stationed at the base as a security guard one night, and again, he was the only person on the island. So while he was there, he went to the bathroom, and of course this happens while he's on the toilet, which means like he can't get away. He hears the doors outside of the bathroom slamming open and shut by themselves. And then he also heard doors. I guess it was one building connecting to another, so they had like the sliding doors in between. And he heard those, even though they're supposed to be like motion censored, they kept opening and closing by themselves. And so he didn't know what that was, and so he radioed the guy at the front gate and was like, "Okay, who else is here?" And he said, "No, you're it. Like, and I'm not going there either to go find you." So he decided that maybe there was someone else that might have just been leaving late or something like that. But when he got out of the bathroom and looked around, everything was pitch black as he left it, and everything was locked shut, including the motion sensor doors. They couldn't move at all. So he heard that on his own, and he also has been quoted saying, "I'm a skeptic about the whole thing, but when you're by yourself, you have a crisis of faith. And the next thing you know, you're running out of the building." So I think that's his way of saying he's a skeptic, but also he's not an idiot. He's like... So the third one is in 1992, another leading seaman. His name is Jay Eldridge. And
love it.
He was in the office in building number 1 by himself when he heard footsteps sprinting down the staircase.
Oh, okay.
He checked it out and saw that the lights were off in the stairwell and nobody was there. He called the watchman at the front gate who said that he was the only person on the island. This guy has like one job. He's like, you're it.
He's like, I know what you're going to ask.
That's it.
Nope. And I'm not going to come help you.
After enough of these stories, I feel like that guy, if he gets like a beep on his radio, he's like, oh, I don't even want to know. No. I'm just going to tell them they're alone before they say anything.
Leave me to my Sudoku and stop calling me. What, do we know his name or no?
No, we don't know his name. Just brave soul. So
I love that guy though.
So he says, no, you're the only one on the island. And so Eldridge decides that he's going to go upstairs and find out for himself what is making the sound. And so as soon as he hangs up the phone, hearing that he's alone on the island, he hears loud laughter.
Oh, okay.
And then he hears the furniture dragging in the room directly above him.
What is it, these people in furniture?
I don't know.
That's like the last thing I'd want to do if I were a ghost. Like
for
furniture.
Eternity, just hate what you're doing.
I'd already try hard to avoid it now while I'm alive.
So as he got up from his seat to go walk upstairs and check out the scene, the sound stopped instantly.
Sure.
And then as soon as he sat down, the sounds started happening again. And they played this weird back and forth for a while where as soon as he would give up on going to check, the sounds would happen, the laughter and the furniture. And then when he would get up and go up the stairs, all the sounds would go away. So he played that for a while, and then eventually he decided to leave when he realized that the lights in the stairwell were now on by themselves.
Oh, good.
So There's another story pretty similar to that happened 2 years later with Petty Officer Lowe. And one morning he was upstairs and heard people talking and stomping around in the mess hall below him, but he knew he was the only one that was there. So he went downstairs to figure out who had come in early, but the mess hall was empty. And when he got back upstairs, the noise started again. Then he went down, no one was there. They just like to mess with you, apparently. So that actually, I feel like I've told this story before, but at my dad's house, we have a ghost that does that, which is just the worst. We think this ghost's name is Charlie.
For any reason or just because?
Because he also like has a little graveyard in the backyard from the last people who lived here.
Right.
And my stepmom has actually seen this spirit, and it looks like a young boy, and the only young boy that has a grave marker. His name was Charlie.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
But so there are times where we'll be sleeping, and then all of a sudden it sounds like someone just turned on all the music, and there's 50 people in the living room, and everyone's just having the best fucking night of their lives. And then you open the door. You just open your door to even go out there, and all the sound goes away.
Ugh.
And then if you close the door, all of a sudden you'll hear the music starting up
this
again.
This small child was like a partier.
Yeah, a little rager.
Seriously.
Rager in the making.
It's much more exciting than whatever I did when I was 9.
And so he, basically that guy
Someone thinks I'm funny.
But no, so that ghost is an asshole. So
yeah.
Anyway, I'm glad that I don't live there anymore because that guy was annoying. So that was the end of Deadman's Island, but I do have a bonus one for you real quick. Thank you. So a lot of people asked about this one, so I wanted to make sure that I put it in because I wanted to originally cover this one too, but it didn't seem like there was a lot of information, but also since there's not a lot of information, that means I can throw it in and like we can all get 2 stories in one. So yeah.
Great.
So this is the very quick abridged story of Hycroft Manor. Okay.
I don't know what that is
So it's in the upscale neighborhood, Google tells me, of, I'm going to fuck it up, Shaughnessy?
Shaughnessy.
Cool.
Is it a GH?
Yeah. Whatever. All right. Everyone knows I love Canada. I don't have to prove myself.
It's Shaughnessy.
So, it's Shaughnessy, yes.
There it is. Beautiful.
So, in 1911, the Hycroft Manor was built for General Alexander Duncan McRae, who was a local politician and a World War I hero. In the 1920s and 1930s, he and his wife were elite socialites.
Okay, I thought that's where we were going, and then you, like, turned.
Eva, delete that. So...
Eva, don't delete that. Leave it in.
They held...
And turn the volume up a little bit.
Right. And just actually put it on loop for the entire hour.
Yeah. And keep the Shaughnessy thing in.
Right. So they were elite socialites.
Correct.
And they held extravagant parties in the manor. In 1942, they donated the manor to the Canadian government. And,
well, that's nice.
Yeah, casual.
Okay.
And the building ended up becoming a hospital for war vets until 1960, where it became so deteriorated that it just ended up being a vacant building.
What if you'd said that they were socialists, and then you were like, and then they donated their house to the government? I was like, that makes like none of this makes any sense.
Just throwing a lot of cool facts at you and seeing what sticks.
This is fun. I like it.
So in 1962, the University Women's Club of Vancouver. All right, yeah. They purchased the place and restored the manor to look exactly how it did back in 1911. And woohoo.
1911.
And
cool.
So the building is a 30-room structure, and it is now a first-class venue for events and gatherings. There are 7 ghosts, which I thought would mean that there's like a lot of material, but apparently not. So... I'm sorry about that. I really got really hyped up, and then I was like, oh, uh-oh. So, there are 7 ghosts that apparently walk throughout the house, walk past the doorways, go up the stairs. You'll see them pass you when you're on the bottom floor, but you'll see them by the balcony, and sitting in rooms, etc. Just doing ghost things.
Like chilling.
Just like chilling.
Not moving the furniture, I would hope, please.
Yeah, they're nice, at least.
They're like smart and don't need to do manual labor in their afterlife.
Well, so apparently the first one is an older man dressed in a World War I officer's uniform, so I think that might be General McRae. There's also a well-dressed lady who walks up and down the hallways at all hours. We think that might be his wife.
Okay.
There's a woman in a nurse's uniform, and there are 3 different Army veterans that are all very active in the house and known as the pranksters.
Oh, I love that.
And apparently they just do all the really annoying things to staff, including like opening and closing doors, unlocking things once you've locked them, fucking with the lights, like anything you don't want them to do, they'll probably do. So, and then they say there's 7, but I've seen that there's actually kind of also an 8th ghost. So the 7th one is a crying man.
Oh,
whoa.
Someone's like, yeah, hell yeah.
Loud sobbing that's heard from the bottom floor, and every time you go downstairs to see what's going on, nobody's there. Sometimes something will be moving by itself, though, as if something was there. And in the 1970s, in a lockdown investigation, there was a investigator that actually heard the crying and then saw a football-sized solid black orb float over the dining table at him, which is extra creepy to me because usually orbs are like white and see-through, and usually you can, excuse it as like dust or something. Right. But if it's solid black and it's coming directly at you, that's pretty terrifying.
Yes.
And it's a football size. Nope.
Yes.
So staff say that the spirits haunting the manor are mostly peaceful and protective, and the bonus ghost is a crying baby that is sometimes heard in a bedroom, and when you go and look in the bedroom to see what baby is there, no one is and the crying stops.
That's sad.
The spirits are most active when the manor is being used as a filming location. I guess because there's a lot of people in there that are all kind of stressed, and it feeds off that. So,
and they like want to get a job done, and the ghosts are like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, you wanted your camera to turn on? No.
We have other plans.
So they were especially active when there was a film crew on the location for a few episodes of The X-Files, which is kind of cool because it was paranormal.
My favorite show.
So I thought that was interesting that
they
were like, oh, I read the script. This shit's good. So,
or they're like, no, this isn't correct.
It's like, I'll give you the real deal real quick. Hang on. Also, during the filming of the movie Catwoman, nope, okay.
Wait, isn't that like the Halle Berry one? No. Is that something else?
I don't know.
Okay, because that was a bad movie.
Well, they used the Hycroft Manor for that. Whoops. And so,
I don't think so.
One security guard, that was supposed to be there to watch out for the cast, he was taking pictures. He heard it was haunted and wanted to see if he could get anything on camera. And he found a humanoid white mist in the doorways.
Okay.
Staff have also said that they frequently get a, quote, spine-chilling tingle when they walk into certain rooms. And one of the staff members has said, you get that cold chill right up your spine that stands all your hairs up on end. It's not the kind that you feel where you think, oh, it's cold. It's the kind where you feel and you think that there's something that might give you a little worry.
Ooh.
And those are the stories of Deadman's Island and Hycroft Manor. So.
Hey, everybody. How's the story going? Is it fun? Is it funny? Is it sad? Here's something shocking. Just how many fees there are everywhere. Hidden fees. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't even know why they're there. But I just spent the last 3 weeks perusing the country, going this away and that away. And the amount of fun I was having came with all these fees, all these hidden fees. I try to do concerts. I try to do movies in the park. I try to go to museums. I try to go to, I was trying to make the most of it. And there were all these fees. And all of a sudden I was like, what is going on here? Not only are fees everywhere, but they hurt the most when you're down and you're not in a good place. But Chime offers fee-free banking. At least there's one place you can guarantee no fees. There are no monthly fees, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance fees. And if you'd like to try it yourself, you can sign up today at chime.com/drink. Banking shouldn't cost you money. And with Chime, there are no, like I said, monthly fees, no overdraft fees, no minimum balance requirements. As someone who has fallen victim many a time to an overdraft fee, this is easily my favorite part of Chime. Absolute game changer. If I knew about it when I was in college, I would have had a different experience in college. Let's put it that way. Open your account in 2 minutes at chime.com/drink. That's chime.com/drink. Chime. Feels like progress.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Timing depends on submission of payment file. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. Bank ranking and number of ATMs according to U.S. News and World Report 2023. Chime checking account required.
Meow. It's Juniper! Hello, everybody. You're wondering why I run so fast past the microphone, and it's because I am healthy and happy and feeling good about myself because I, with my brother Moonshine, eat Smalls. You have got to try Smalls if you're a cat like us. Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge, and it's delivered right to your door. That's why Cats.com named Smalls their best overall cat food. I gotta say, we love our Smalls. There are some very yummy flavors over there, including, meow, ground cow, and as well as smooth fish. And to get 60% off your first order, plus free shipping, I don't know what shipping is, but that sounds pretty good if it's free, head to smalls.com and use our promo code DRINK for a limited time only. Did you know that, by the way, Moonshine's here. Say hi, Moonshine. Thank you, Moonshine. He's shy today. After switching to Smalls, listen up, Moonshine, this is important. 88% of cat owners reported overall healthy improvements. And I gotta tell you, I'm feeling pretty healthy, as you heard from me running to the microphone earlier. You can get 60% off your first Smalls order plus free shipping when you head to smalls.com/drink. That's 60% off when you head to smalls.com/drink plus free shipping. Again, that's smalls.com/ what was it, Moonshine? Drink. Smalls.com/drink. Meow.
Thank you.
Wow, what a time to be alive. All right, everybody. Hey, I'm going to tell you some murder stuff now.
Good, let's stop talking about semen.
Please. This is probably less disturbing, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. So Em always sets us up as like, look, I'm going to do all this crazy cool stuff and tell you about ghosts. Anyway, Christine, I guess you can go. So
anyway, really wow them now that I'm
I'll
like
try.
the main act. No.
Yeah, I'll try. I can't promise much, but all right, guys. So this is a little gift for Em. Because we are in your homeland.
My homeland.
It's like, I don't know. I'm just going to go with it. Because we are in your favorite place with a U, favorite with a U.
Oh!
I'm such a weirdo. I literally
did everyone see Coloring Book without the U? Sorry. Yeah. That's the most American coloring book.
I literally put a U in like a big weirdo because I was like, well, I'll have to remember that.
Right.
Okay. So this is in honor of you being in Canada for the first time. I picked a story just for you. This is the Vancouver Milkshake Murder.
Sorry, everyone.
Remember, you have a microphone an inch from your face.
I forgot, but it's okay.
Guys, this is a very wild ride. Okay. But I Googled, like, True Crime Vancouver, and this was one of the first things that came up. And I was like, well, fate. I mean, I'm not even going to look for anything else. So
the universe knew.
The universe knew. Or you were, like, fucking with my Google. I don't know. It's entirely possible. Okay, so I was listening to a lovely show called the Dark Poutine Podcast, which is a lovely Canadian true crime show that I've actually been meaning to shout out for a while because they're great. But so thanks to them for some of this info. Okay, we are going to go back to the mid-1960s in Vancouver, obviously. This guy named Rene Castellani, Rene with one E, like the French one.
Rene.
There it is. Castellani, so let's throw some Italian in there, I guess, was a local radio personality at popular radio station CKNW. Is that still a thing? I heard no and yeah, so who's to say? Let's go with yeah, that's more fun for the show. Okay. He was a promo man, known for his stunts, sometimes wearing a gorilla suit to promote the radio station. He was also known for his on-air pranks, which earned him the title of the Dizzy Dialer.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh, I like it.
In the 1960s, I think that was just like very
classy.
Very exciting of a name. The Dizzy Dialer. So one of his more famous pranks was when he would pretend to be, well, here we go. He would pretend to be an Indian Maharaja, which is Sanskrit for ruler or king.
Oh, no.
So that's great. He pretended to be the Indian Maharaja of Alibaba. Yikes. Going so far as to take out ads on bus boards saying he wanted to buy British Columbia. And there was like no purpose for this, just to like fuck with people. So I don't really understand, but I don't know. This is a weird place. He stayed at the Weston Bayshore dressed as an Indian prince, and he would ride around in limousines with bodyguards and an entourage of dancing girls.
Me too.
Yeah. That's how M spent their day in
casual.
So this campaign, I guess is what it was called, was so effective that outraged locals made up signs shouting, "Keep BC British," because they believed... they believed he was truly like this Indian royalty.
Wow. Wow.
What a time the 60s were. Okay. So this Rene Castellani, he married his wife Esther on July 16th, 1946. They were both 21. By 1965, the two of them were living in a duplex with their 12-year-old daughter, Janine. This was in Vancouver's Kerrisdale neighborhood. Okay. I forgot to write down the pronunciation. Let's go with that. Esther was the manager of a children's clothing store, and by all accounts, they were a pretty happy couple. However, in early 1965, the phone rang in the middle of the night. Esther picked up the phone and heard a woman's voice ask, "Do you know your husband is going around with someone else?" And then when she tried to ask questions, the caller hung up. So, yeah, she was not happy about that.
Uh-oh.
So Esther didn't tell Renee about the call. Instead, she, obviously was suspicious, and she kind of started, snooping around to see what was going on.
Right.
Before she accused him of anything. She found a letter in his coat pocket, and the letter was a love note from someone signed Lolly. It turns out Lolly was a nickname of a woman named Adelaide Miller, a recently widowed single mother of a 6-year-old son who just so happened to work as a receptionist at the radio station CKNW.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she was
Lolly.
Well, Lolly.
Please don't take my man.
I know. That's what she said. So coworkers at the station, already knew that this was happening because they were apparently very obvious and weren't very subtle about their affair. Let's just put it that way. In fact, they had been together for over a year at this point by the time she found out. So it was kind of like, well, yeah, we already knew about this, but sorry you had to find out too. It's not clear whether the caller was a coworker or maybe even Lolly herself trying to break them up. So even to this day, people don't know who actually called to kind of spill the beans to Esther.
Got it.
So incidentally, around this time, Esther started to feel pretty unwell, and her health kind of plummeted. She began to suffer from stomach and lower back pain severe enough to keep her off work. At first, most of her friends didn't think too much of it because apparently she had a terrible diet. She smoked excessively, and she drank way too much coffee. I was like, she drank too much. Oh, coffee? What? Apparently that was a bad deal.
Got it.
In the 60s. I don't know. But so pretty soon she began to develop bouts of nausea and diarrhea, which quickly turned into intense pain and vomiting. Her fingers and toes went numb, and she lost the ability to walk or use her hands. So,
oh my God.
She, deteriorated very quickly.
Wow.
She saw several specialists who either couldn't pinpoint her illness or blamed sodium retention.
Okay.
Cool. Or gallbladder problems brought on by her diet. She spent 7 weeks in the hospital and went through more than 120 different tests, everything from cancer to thyroid problems, gallbladder issues, but nothing came back abnormal, and so they just couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with her. Yeah, don't get me started on that.
A million reasons why I love Canada, not America.
Okay. Okay. Thank God, Esther's lovely husband, Renee, was kind enough to bring home Esther's favorite milkshake for her every day after work.
I don't like this.
They
really
were
disrespectful to milkshakes.
They were one of the only foods Esther could manage to keep down because of her illness. The milkshakes were from a place called White Spot. Cool.
I don't think White Spot's proud of this story, though.
Maybe not. But they were the only thing she could keep down, so maybe. So, White Spot. Woo! In May of 1965, Lolly was fired for her affair with Renee because, she's the lady, so let's get rid of her.
Sure. That's how it works.
He's the one in the gorilla costume, so he gets to stay. Woo! He was obviously not fired. He got to stay on. Unfortunately for Esther, though, the affair continued despite Lolly being fired. And Esther's illness only got worse. In June of 1965, Renee pulled another weird stunt for the radio station, perhaps his most noteworthy. It was called Guy in the Sky. And it was an auto promotion in which he stood on top of Vancouver's iconic Bomac sign on Broadway. Is that a thing? It's now a Toys R Us sign or something? Okay. No. Okay. I don't know. I'm not from here. God, ask M. Okay. Listen, when I was listening to Dark Poutine, it was not Trader Joe's. Hold on. Toys R Us sign. Still it. Thank you. Okay. Right. So he stood on top of this sign. That's all we got to say. He stood on top of a large sign. And he did not leave until every vehicle on the lot was sold, which took 9 days. So he just stood up there for literally 9 days, and people would have to bring him water and snacks.
Oh my God.
During this time, lo and behold, what a miracle, Esther's health finally improved. But once Renee returned off of his sign, so did Esther's symptoms. Womp womp.
Interesting.
What a weird correlation. So she, at this point, couldn't keep water down. She had a blister-like rash all over her body. By June, her condition had worsened so drastically that she had to be put on oxygen and hospitalized permanently. During this time, Renee had displayed a remarkable lack of empathy for his dying wife. Shocking. He had begun house hunting with Lolly and even signed paperwork for a mortgage that claimed they were married. So they were already moving on.
Right.
Fucked up.
They were on their way.
He had given Lolly Esther's fur coat also, which I just was like, that's fucking rude. I just kept that in there. I just thought that was very evil. This lady's in the hospital and you're just giving away her possessions. So when his mother-in-law asked about Esther's failing health, he replied, quote, "When a house burns down, I don't look for a fire. I look around to build a new house."
Oh my God.
So this guy's a bad man.
He's a bad apple.
Yes. By early July, Esther was dead, unfortunately. The day after his wife's funeral, Renee took their daughter Janine, Lolly, and Lolly's son Dawn on a trip to Disneyland. The day after the funeral. One of Esther's doctors, his name was Dr. Bernard Moscovich, he was haunted by Esther's death, and he was kind of the main guy who was testing her left and right and trying to figure out what was going on. So when she passed away, he requested an autopsy, and for whatever reason, Renee was like, yeah, sure, you can do it, because they needed his approval. So I guess he was just feeling extra confident, because he just signed off on it and went to Disneyland.
Very ballsy.
Yeah, very ballsy. And that's when Dr. Moscovich realized he had missed something, a glaring clue all along, which is that arsenic mimics gastroenteritis. Yeah, there it is. I think we all saw that coming, but surprise, surprise. He realized she had been poisoned. In fact, a second autopsy found that Esther's liver contained arsenic concentrations 1,500 times higher than normal.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there were concentrations 800 times above average in her heart.
Oh my God.
So, almost immediately the case was declared a homicide. And Renee obviously became the prime suspect.
Right.
Especially once word got out about Lolly and her new fur coat, I guess.
Right.
So it didn't help that police also found a box of something called orthotriox, a weed killer, with high levels of arsenic under his kitchen sink, half empty.
That'll do it.
Oh, what a dummy. Samples of Esther's hair were sent to Toronto for analysis by forensic scientist Norm Erickson. They used the hair to determine when Esther had been poisoned. You know how they can test how long it's been in your body with your hair? Right. So they did that. And shockingly, well, not shockingly, even a little bit, the portion of hair that aligned with the 9 days Renee was on top of the sign showed no sign of arsenic entering her system.
Wow.
And every other period around those 9 days did. It also showed that the poisoning resumed after his return and his daily milkshakes coming back to the house for Esther.
Got it.
That's right. He had committed the ultimate crime, poisoning someone's milkshake in Canada.
Wait, but you nailed it.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
Me 3 weeks ago. I was very pleased.
Oh, good.
Oh, boy. Hold on, I lost my place. Oh. Okay, I got really worked up. So, as we all probably know by now, Renee had added arsenic into Esther's milkshake every single day on the way home from work. In spring of 1966, Renee and Lolly were busy planning their wedding when Renee was suddenly arrested and charged with the first-degree murder of his wife, Esther. At the time, this was a capital offense punishable by hanging. He pled not guilty, shocker, and the case went to trial. Renee maintained his innocence all the way through the trial, and poor Janine, the daughter, at this point, she's only 13, was forced to testify in court on her father's behalf as like a character witness for her father.
Yikes.
Despite mostly circumstantial evidence, the jury quickly convicted Rene Castellani of his wife's murder and sentenced him to hang only 3 months later. I don't know whether to be.
We'll let you decide.
Yep, that's on you guys. I don't know. I always like rush through those sentences because I'm like, I don't know if cheering. I don't know.
What do we do?
We'll let you decide. Okay. Right. So when Janine's father was sent to jail, Janine sadly, obviously, had no one left. She actually lived with Lolly and Lolly's son Don for a while. But then when Lolly met a new man, she pawned Janine off on an aunt, and Janine had no parental figure left.
Oh, no.
Very fucked up, very sad. Luckily for Rene, just 2 weeks before his hanging, Canada suspended the death penalty and commuted his case to life imprisonment.
Wow.
So, woo, yay, boo. I don't know.
Woo, yay, boo.
There's a whole...
Wait, can that be a word that we start? Woo, yay, boo.
Just...
You decide. Woo, yay, boo.
Just covers all the spectrum of possible reactions.
Yeah.
Right?
You heard it here first. We're going to start using that
Trademark,
now.
trademark. Don't steal that. Okay. Okay. I'm lost.
Woo, yay, boo is where we were.
Woo, boo. Okay. Right. So within 2 years, so they suspended the death penalty. He was like spared 3 weeks before his execution. Yay, boo. Within 2 years, Rene was doing community service playing Santa Claus. Boo.
Can we agree that's a boo?
That's a straight boo. Within 5, he had weekend passes out of jail, and within 10 years, he was fully paroled and back to working at the radio station.
What?
Yeah.
That radio station.
Not pretty.
Needs to figure out how they're hiring people.
But whether this is karma or whatnot, Rene actually passed away shortly after his parole, dying from cancer in 1982. So he wasn't even out for like 2 years before he passed away.
Boo, yay, boo about cancer.
We get a lot of emails. I don't want Eva to have to work with that tonight. At the funeral, Rene's daughter Janine was asked not to speak because his most recent wife didn't know anything about his past as a convicted murderer.
Wow.
So they're like, "Oh, you can't say anything in case you let it slip that your dad like murdered your mom." Like,
can you imagine not?
Right. So for many years after her father's sentencing, Janine clung to her dad's innocence because she just couldn't really like let herself believe that she had lost both parents in that way. And so she had essentially lost both her parents. It wasn't until her 20s that she finally accepted that her father had killed her mother. She's now in her 60s, and she has been described as a kind, brave woman. She has 2 kids in their 30s, and is by all accounts an awesome mother. There's actually a milkshake murder exhibit at the Vancouver Police Museum.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
As far as when I listened to that episode, I don't know. If you guys want to check it out, and I guess if we want to check it out at 4 a.m. before our flight.
Yeah.
They also have the now illegal weed killer that Rene used on display, like the box of weed killer.
Oh, wow.
And they also have the chart from the hospital that displays the amounts of arsenic in like the different parts of Esther's body. So it's like wildly fucked up. Yeah, it's very dark. Only a few months ago, actually, so in October of 2018, an author named Eve Lazarus released a book about... Is that you?
Are you Eve?
I got really excited!
Hey, girl. We love your book.
We do love Eve Lazarus. Okay, so in October 2018, an author named Eve Lazarus released a book about the case called Murder by Milkshake, an astonishing true story of adultery, arsenic, and a charismatic killer.
Ooh.
I know.
Good title. You picked a good one.
It is a good title. So, for the book, Eve actually interviewed Janine, who's now 65. She said she still has a hard time coping with her family's past, obviously. She explained to Eve that all the things she said on the stand were lies, and she'd actually been told exactly what, like, the lines to say in her father's defense on the stage. So she admits that she committed perjury, but she didn't know. She was 13.
Got it.
And so she said none of it was true. She read the book, actually, which must have been a very hard thing for her to do. She read the book. She gained a lot of understanding from it, she said. And she was actually at the book launch in October, so that's kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's kind of like standing up for everything.
Got it.
She summed her experience up in one sentence. She said, "I am not past the anger yet, but I am hoping to get there soon." And that is a story of Vancouver's milkshake murder.
Oh, cool. Good pick.
What a wild time.
Drama, milkshakes,
Drama.
Canada. Love it.
I stumbled upon it. It was pretty exciting. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you humoring me. Thank you. I appreciate you very deeply.
Thank you, Canada.
We are very happy.
Thank you guys so much, Canada! Thank you.